Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in. Today video we are going to talk about Firebase and how you can actually create a document using only your computer and only your command line, or setting up a file, a JSON file, JavaScript file, sorry, and then just import a new document with a random ID. And this is actually going to be very useful for debugging purposes or for test purposes. So in my particular case, while I was actually uh, preparing my video for the upcoming video for the notifications for scheduled notifications by user, the whole idea is that I'll actually need to pass the local time of the user and the time that the user wants to set up this scheduled notification for. And because of that, I actually had to manually set up a new just create a new document every time and every time. And I was just thinking to myself, probably there is a better way to do it. Of course, you can still use it in Firebase, in Flow. You can still use it in Flow. You can set up a button which you can click it to actually create a new button, a new document in your Firebase. But in my case, I just wanted to be real quickly, and I just don't want to mess with the flow because in order to do that, I still had to fire test mode or set up a button, and that looks like a tedious process to me. I just want it to be something quick and something robust, actually, that I can use across my project as well, not only for this project but across for all my projects that I have in uh, in Firebase. So let me show you how this works. The whole idea is that if right now I have a document in my Firebase, so I have the beta project, and I have a collection called demo. And in this demo collection, I have one document that I just created, and I'll create automatically. You can just see, you don't see the code. We'll just switch to the code after that. But now you see one document. If I click enter right now, you should see automatically creates another document. So if I'm clicking enter right now, and you can see the other document being created. And this is the date that being created and the time. This is the local date and the time that is being created. And actually, I did that in purpose to have like all kinds of different data types, so you can actually see in the demo. If you need any kind of data type, you can actually see it how I did it and how I created. So you can just reproduce this for your own database or for your own use case. In my case, the most important one was the timestamp field, and I wanted to actually create a timestamp that is every time is different. When I create a new document, you can see this one is different, and then you can see this one is different as well. And if I create a new one, that should be different as well. So this is the third one that was just created, and it says 1039, and now it's 1038. Okay, so let's switch and show you how you can actually do that. So before we start, actually, I just want to point out that this process does not include Firebase Cloud functions. So you don't need to set up any Firebase Cloud functions. It's only pure JavaScript, and it should actually work with only having Node.js, and that's about it. But in order to install the Node.js and the libraries that you need, it's a probably good idea to follow this video nevertheless, and just set up your project. And when you're done, when you're watch this video, set up your project, the first thing that you want to do is actually go to your project and then go to the project settings. And when you click on the project settings, just click on service accounts and then click on generate new private key. So just keep that private key in a safe place and safe environment. You don't lose it and don't give it, of course, to other people as they will have access to your project. So download this key, and when you're done, we can actually switch to the console. Okay, so now we switch to the terminal. I'm using Linux. This is the terminal. In Mac, it's called terminal. In Windows, it's called PowerShell. You can use PowerShell, or you can use CDM. But the commands should be like identical. And the first command that we want to do is npm and then // and then version, and then click enter. And it should see the version. The current version that I'm running right now, it's 965, but it doesn't really matter what version. It should not matter what version you're using as long as you have npm installed. And the second thing that you want to do is actually npm install and then do firebase-admin. When you do firebase-admin, firebase-admin, click enter, and now you should install the firebase-admin. And it says unsupport engine package on node, required node 16, current node 18. I think this is okay, to be honest, as long as you don't get any errors when you're running the actual code. And the actual code, in my case, I'm using Nano. Nano is, I think it's only available in Mac and Linux, but I'm using Nano. And my name of the file is import_doc.js. When I click enter, this is the code. I have already pasted the code here, but you can use any text editor out there that you can think of and just paste this code and create this file, import_doc.js. And this is the code. It will be available in my GitHub. And this is the demo data. So I have this structure, which is I have a string, I have an integer, I have a boolean, I have an array, I have a no value, I have a timestamp, and I have a geopoint, which is a geolocation, and I have document reference. In this case, it's example collection because there's a document reference, it's just the name of the collection and then the ID of the document. And then I have the map field, and this is a map field. And then here I'm actually adding this document to the collection name demo, and this is the actual document that I'm adding. And if the document is added successfully, then I'm just saying document written with ID, and then the ID. And if I have any error, it just says error adding document. Okay, great. And now you can save it. In my case, I'm pasting it here. In my case, I can save it with Control X and then press Y for yes to save it because I didn't make any changes. That's why it was not asking me to save it. And if you remember previously in the couple of minutes ago, we downloaded a file called JSON file for the authentication from our Firebase. And I actually you have to actually rename your file. So let me just open this file again. You have to rename the file that we just downloaded. In my case, because my project is called beta, so that's why my file is called beta_out. But you can actually stick with out. So I think if you can stick with out, that is okay. So you can stick with out. You can just write out.json and then make sure that this file is in the same directory. In Windows, you can write dir and just enter, and in Mac and Linux, you can just ls and then click enter. And the file that I am using in my case is this one. it's beta out, but like I said, yours should be out.json. It should be the same name as you have it in your import uh, doc on the second line. Make sure you have this file correct. And then when you're done, when you're ready, this is actually the connection between your Firebase and your computer. This is how you're doing the connection. And in my case, I'm running this inside Firebase functions, but you should actually not do that. There is no reason for you to do that. This is not connected to Cloud Functions. So you can do it wherever you want to in your computer. You can have a simple folder as long as you have the Node.js installed, as long as you have the firebase-admin installed from Node, and as long as you put the JSON file with the same correct name, you should be able to actually run the file. And running the file, it's very simple. You just write the node and then the name of the file, which in my case is important_doc.js. I click enter, and now you are seeing here that the file is being created. And this is the ID of the file that has been created. So using that simple steps, you can actually right now create unlimited document for testing purposes. And you can actually, like I said, just run this file and it will automatically create a new file with a new doc ID. And I just show you at the beginning of the video how that look like on the real environment when you're creating the document. So like I said, I will use that for testing purposes. In my case, it would be the generating of the time every time that I create a new document. And if you want to create new documents for testing purposes, I think this is the best way to do it. And that's why I created this video. But this video, like I said, will be an extension. It will be something that you need to do in order to test your shadowed notifications, which is actually coming in the future. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. And before you go, if you want to have access to this code and just change the code in any way you want to, and put your own collection, you can do it this way. So yeah, make sure you visit this page, and there are all the links that you actually need for this. And there is actually a video explaining how you can use this website. So thank you very much again for watching this video, and have a nice day. Bye bye. Take care.